So y is between -1 and 0. I usually prefer to write these things in ascending order. So this is really -1 is less than y, and y is less than 0. So on the number line, here's 0, here's -1. Y is somewhere in this range. This means that y is a negative fraction. The important thing to know about that is looking at the Roman numeral statements, we are raising y to a power. And remember, for every odd power of a negative number, it's negative, but for every even power of a negative number, it's positive. So we're looking at which ones of these statements must be true. No matter what, with statement number 1, y to the fourth is going to be a positive number because it's an even power of a negative number, and y to the third is going to be a negative number, so definitely y to the fourth is going to be greater than y to the third because it's a positive number and y to the third is negative. So statement 1 is definitely true. We can cross off any answer choices that don't include it, which was really just one of them. So that's a little disappointing. Statement 2, let's skip statement 2 because that one's a little bit trickier. We'll deal with that one third. The third statement, we have y to the fifth minus y to the sixth is greater than y to the third minus y to the fourth. We can do a little factoring. This is the same thing as y to the fifth times 1 minus y. It's greater than y to the third, which is great. We factor that out of, again, 1 minus y. We know that y is a negative number, and so 1 minus y is the same thing as 1 plus the absolute value of y. So since 1 minus y is a positive number, we can just divide both sides by that and simplify that third statement to be y to the fifth is greater than y to the third. Is that true? So both of these will be negative numbers. Y itself is a negative fraction, and it's raised to an odd power in both cases. But remember, the higher the power you raise a fraction to, the closer to 0 it gets. And in that case, it's actually becoming a greater number. So y to the fifth will be somewhere around here, whereas y to the third will be somewhere over here. The closer it gets to 0, the greater the negative number is, so y to the fifth is greater than y to the third. So 1 and 3 are definitely true, and so we can get rid of the ones that don't account for 3. Now we're left down to evaluating answer choice number 2, or statement number 2, and this one's trickier. The issue here is that you have a negative number, a very small negative fraction, being greater than a larger negative fraction plus an actual positive number and a pretty big one. So remember that y gets, the fraction part of y becomes much smaller the bigger the power is. When it's a smaller power, it's a bigger fraction. And y squared is a positive number. It's all the way, so our number line again here. Most of our dealings with y are between 0 and 1. Y squared is going to be something all the way over here on the positive side. And in fact, y squared is going to be, as a positive number, is going to be bigger than y to the fifth and y cubed combined as negative numbers. So y to the fifth is definitely not going to be greater than a positive number, canceling out a small negative number. So statement 1 is true, statement 2 is true, statement 3 is true, statement 2 is false. Answer choice D. And you can plug in your own values for y, like pick an easy fraction like -1/2. You test it out with that, you'll see that statement 2 is also false.